Welcome back to Speaking Senses. This week we will be talking about vestibular sensory processing. As you can see on our roadmap, we are in week 3 and we are talking about the vestibular sense. As presented in weeks 1 and 2, here are the program facilitators, Cameron Cook, Paige Barham, Madison Walton, and Ikra Malik.
Here is an overview of the sensory processing systems, and this week we will be going over the vestibular system. Vestibular sensory processing happens through the vestibular sense, and that is one of the senses that is specific to detecting movement through sensory receptors that are located in the inner ear.
The vestibular system gets its name from the vestibule. The vestibule is found in the inner ear and it houses fluid in the inner ear that senses changes in head positions. The vestibular system brings awareness of change of position, direction, or movement of your head, and it gives input into your bodies about how fast you're moving, what direction you're moving, as well as whether you're moving with or against gravity. So we use this when we're upside down or spinning and things like that. It also helps and affects us to have smooth movements, appropriate posture, riding responses. So that's like the ability to self-correct when we begin to lose balance or if we lean too far in one direction. It also helps with balance, and our eye movements are also affected by our vestibular sense. Research in sensory integration and sensory processing has shown that the vestibular system is one of the most sensitive of all the sensory processing systems. And if the vestibular system is not adequately receiving enough input to meet the threshold, it may not even send signals that enact postural or balance muscles. And so a child may have a hard time holding their head up or remaining balanced as they begin to fall because their brain's not receiving the input that tells their muscles to enact. And each movement that a child makes does require a muscular response, and the vestibular system tells the brain to make this response in response to different body positions. The vestibular system also relies on the proprioceptive, visual, and auditory systems to provide a more holistic and increased input that provides more thorough information about where their body is in space and how to react.
Behaviorally, over-responsiveness to the vestibular sense might look like a person who prefers sedentary activities or fearing having their feet leave the ground. So they want to have both feet firmly planted on the ground to not feel unstable. They also may quickly become dizzy or nauseous with activity when their head changes positions very fast. This person also might demonstrate cautious or slow movements, and they also might have excessive eye movements following movement because their vestibular sense is feeling everything that their head just moved through. Fearful of crossing midline or reaching outside their center of gravity is also a behavior that might be seen with over-responsiveness to the vestibular sense. Also, they might have trouble keeping their eyes on a moving target, or they also might have difficulty keeping their place when copying from a board or a worksheet. But this also can be seen under responsiveness for the vestibular sense. Also, for under-responsiveness, the individual might enjoy spinning, jumping, rocking, and they rarely get dizzy even with these extreme movements because they are seeking that input. They also may appear to be clumsy, unbalanced, or have poor postural control because they are also still seeking that input and they are searching for that in ways of moving their body in rapid or clumsy movements. They also may present with little to no eye movement following movement, and they also may lose their balance when crossing midline or reaching outside their center of gravity as they look for that vestibular input.
Today's learning activity, we will be focusing on yoga poses. Benefits of child yoga. It allows children to position themselves in various positions that alter the fluid in their ears. It also helps increase awareness about their personal response to movements, especially having their head in various positions. Our second activity will consist of hopper balls hopscotch. Benefits of hopper balls hopscotch. It allows up and down jumping motion that stimulates the vestibular system in a fun and engaging way. It also requires the children to maintain postural control on moving ball and helps strengthen muscles that control balance. Our third activity for this week are doorway swings. So doorway swinging is really beneficial because it provides a lot of vestibular input through movement. Research has shown that lateral swinging can be very calming to the vestibular system, and rotary or rotational swinging can be very alerting to the vestibular system.
Knowing this is really important because that helps us decide based on whether a child is over-responsive or under-responsive in their vestibular system, which type of swinging would be most beneficial for them.
Thank you for tuning in to week 3 of Speaking Senses. If you have any questions, please feel free to email us at speakingsensesmu@gmail.com. This is an announcement. The auditory and visual senses will be combined for weeks 4 and 5, so we will only have a 5-week program from here going out. Please use the QR codes below to stay in contact with us through the website, Instagram, and Facebook. Thank you.